What's up, everybody? I'm coming at you live from NAB at the Las Vegas Convention Center here with Paul Hawxhurst at the Canon booth. Paul, I hope you're having a great show so far.
Yeah, so far so good.
Perfect. Take it away. Tell me what you're highlighting here at your booth here.
Yeah, so we have a pretty big booth here. So we have it segmented into different sections depending upon the kind of the vertical markets that we approach at Canon. So first off, we start in the cinema section here, and over here we highlight basically all of our products that are concentrated in the cinema world. All right, and so includes our cameras and our lenses, and we show them all set up in forms of like way that people would use them in a kind of a cinema way. So yeah, did you want to run down the products a little bit?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so we're showing R6 Mark II right here. So the R6 Mark II is technically not in our cinema line, but it has a more like movie capture features than previous versions of our mirrorless cameras. So yeah, basically people are kind of seeing it as a lower budget but kind of nice like entryway into shooting videos and shooting movies. Over here we got R5C. The R5C is our most recent cinema camera, and it's kind of a really cool camera. It's like two cameras in one basically. So you have a switch on it, you flip the switch, on one side you get the full-blown R5 photo experience, so 45 megapixel sensor, full frame, all of that jazz. And the menus are the good old tried and true Canon's like photo menus. Flip the switch over to video, and it totally changes operating systems, and now you're in the cinema EOS experience. The menu systems and nomenclature, all that stuff is all cinema EOS based, right? So now you're shooting 8K video, up to 60 frames a second, raw internal recording. Very cool. Again, with that full frame sensor, it allows us to use a whole bunch of different kinds of lenses on it. So a very, very small, lightweight, but powerful camera for cinema. We'll work on that a little bit. So next up we do C70 over here. C70 is a big seller for us right now. Very popular camera. One that we've been able to keep up with firmware updates like pretty consistently over the last couple of years. But yeah, it's I don't know what to say about it. It's a camera that really kind of stole my heart in a way when it came out. So it's about 2 years old now at this point, but it's really kicking. It uses a super 35mm sensor. It actually uses the same sensor that our higher level C300 Mark III uses. All right, so this camera is actually kind of like really fits into that ecosystem there with the higher level cameras. And a lot of people, my clients and everything like that, they'll own like maybe a C300 Mark III as their main camera, but then they'll have a few of these cameras there, and they just match perfectly in post, everything like that. It's a way to kind of really expand your line. And if you're a production company, you can kind of get more bang for your buck out of this camera. So very cool Super 35 sensor, RF mount on the camera. It uses our main cinema batteries, our BPA cinema batteries, which is nice because then that means it's the same batteries used for the C500 Mark II, the C70, and the XF605. So you have one battery that can be used for all these different camera types. Very versatile. We're going to take a look at the next thing we're going to highlight is the flex zooms. This is what we're introducing here at the show now. Move on down a little bit. There's a little bit of a crowd around them because we're brand new, but this is right here. This is one of them. So last summer, we introduced two full frame cinema style zoom lenses, and they were called the flex zooms. They were T2.4 lenses all across. So very fast lenses, especially for this type of market. Now we're introducing the super 35mm versions of these lenses. So the coverage of them is the super 35mm coverage, but because of that, they got a lot faster. So now these are T1.7 zooms all the way through, so making them the fastest cinema zoom lenses in Super 35 out there. We have two models. We have the 14 to 35, and we have a 31.5 to 95. So the two different lenses, and we call them the flex zooms because if if I own one of these lenses, well, I can go in and I can swap out the relay section of the lens and put in a new one and have it change over to the other style of lens. So, what I'm saying, if I have a super 35mm coverage lens, I can change the relay for a full frame coverage, and then I can get a full frame coverage lens. And I can show it to you. Let's see if we can get in here a little bit. But you can see the kit in here. See where it has the relays, the mount change, and you can just pop that relay in and boom, you can have a whole another different lens right there. So very, very cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. What has the reception been that you've been hearing from that so far?
Well, pretty good. So it's really interesting because I feel like the full frame versions of the lenses came out and they did pretty well and they're so good, but they're pretty new. They're still so very new. They came out last summer. So people are still trying to looking at them and experiencing them. The Super 35mm ones have made kind of a big splash, especially with that T-stop on them. So it's been very, very positive and very, very popular part of our booth has been coming and checking this out here.
I love it.
So yeah, that's the cinema section of the booth.